Alright guys, I'm back with another video, and just like I said before, the moment I pressed stop on the recording, we got tons more news. Like, this is going to be daily news now. Like, it's funny. It's like before we were like, yo, we're starving, man. Sega's giving us breadcrumbs. We don't have much Sonic to talk about. And now we have so much Sonic news to talk about every single day. It's like, yo, be careful what you wish for, because I am trying to compartmentalize my videos. Because the moment I'm done recording, there's going to be like 5 to 10 other new things. And I don't like making multiple videos per day. I got other things to do. So that's going to have to be moved to the next day. But then I got to worry about that video getting old and then people watching something else and moving on. So it's like, yo, this is like a race now. But thank you guys for all the massive support on my previous video. That has over 50,000 views right now and is just a discussion video. Maybe it's Sonic Prime and the Sonic Frontiers demo that I talked about in one video, but thank you all for the support. And before I get to these news today, be sure to smash the like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's see if we can get this channel to 100,000 subscribers before Sonic Frontiers comes out. Hey yo, by the way guys, Sonic Rose is still alive and well. In one of the leaks here, it says at around a minute and a half into the video, it is mentioned that the hearts that Sonic collects in Frontiers are collectibles meant to restore Amy's memories. And I've also heard before that Amy communicates with Sonic, but Sonic can't see her. And Sonic has to save her and help her get her memories back. So yo guys, until we know the full story of this, I'm going to continue believing this whole Sonic Rose thing. Alright, so we finally got some new gameplay of Sonic Frontiers, and it's actually good now. They interviewed Iizuka, so I'm going to play the footage in this video. IGN jeopardized Sonic as usual. It's just like what I said in my earlier videos. Remember how IGN played Sonic Unleashed? You know how they played it in that infamous Sonic Unleashed review? They played it terribly, like they didn't know how to play Sonic, constantly tapping on that boost button, and that's what we got. That's why the gameplay looks so lackluster and bland. But now the gameplay looks good because we got more competent people. So from now on, Sega, please don't work with IGN. Like, please have other gaming companies play and showcase your games. I know IGN is like the biggest gaming review company right now. Everyone goes to IGN, but all IGN does is make your games look bad. Can you please get other people or someone competent to play your games, please? Because we're getting a lot of early reviews of Sonic Frontiers and they are very glowing. A lot of them are praising the game, calling it phenomenal, saying that it's potential game of the year, even better than Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We're like, whoa, what game did we play? Did we see the same game? Because it is not reflecting the gameplay we've seen at all. I'm still interested in Frontiers. I'm interested in the potential of what Sonic Frontiers can be, but I'm still cautiously optimistic. But these reviews are the highest reviews I have seen for a 3D Sonic game ever in a very long time. I think maybe since the Adventure days, even more than Sonic Generations and Colors. Like, game of the year, no one was even calling Sonic Generations game of the year. How much more Sonic Colors? So this is very, very surprising. And it's funny because, like, we've only gotten like 2 early impression reviews and they've been negative, and everyone's saying that's fake, it's fake, because it's negative. And also IGN has praised Sonic Frontiers as well, saying it's very smooth and crisp like butter. But I just want to let you guys know, we shouldn't always trust IGN. Remember when IGN gave an early review or early impressions review of Sonic Lost World back in 2013, and they said the game is amazing. They said the game looked and played amazing, only to give the final version of the game a 5 out of 10, more like a 5.8 out of 10, and saying it was a big disappointment. So I remember, because I was one of the people that was angry at IGN for deceiving us. I was like, how did you guys give a glowing early review of Sonic Lost World, and now you give it a negative review saying that it's a big disappointment? Like, what? So I remember I was on IGN's ass for that. So because of that, I don't trust any of these early reviews, to be honest. I do consider them a lot more. I still need to see more of the game and play for myself before I completely trust these early reviews. But I am definitely taking them into consideration because I have never seen anyone give these kind of high praises to a 3D Sonic game ever. There's no way Sega could have paid them to give them great reviews. But what do you guys think? So yeah, a lot of these reviews are downright confusing. And it's just proving my point that Sega is really jeopardizing their game with bad marketing. You know, none of us are marketing experts, but we can tell when a game has bad marketing. It's just like video games. None of us are video game experts. I mean, many of us have never made video games, but yet we can tell when a game is bad. We can tell when a game's not as good as previous games. We are the consumer. Now, about these cyberspace stages that I mentioned in my previous video were heavily borrowed from Sonic Generations. In fact, one of them was literally Sky Sanctuary and Green Hill ripped out. Now, there's a reason for that, as some people have said that this is basically Sonic revisiting his past memories to gain his memory back, because in this game he suffers from amnesia, which is exactly what I talked about in my old videos last year about Sonic having amnesia, because it's pretty much a parallel to Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I feel like that's what they're doing. I feel like there's a reason why we're going to be revisiting old levels from Cyberspace, because this person says my theory is correct. The reasoning as to why Cyberspace levels are going to be similar to Generations lore wise is because Sonic has to gain his memories back. Leak said he lost his memory while on the islands. Obviously, Cyberspace will look and feel similar to both Sonic and the players because it's a result of Sonic having to remember his past in order to progress. So that makes a lot more sense and makes me a little bit more eased up about Generations levels. But my problem is, shouldn't he revisit levels from his entire history? Like, what about Sonic Unleashed or Sonic Lost World or Sonic Adventure games? Why does it only have to be Generations? I know Generations has a bunch of levels from Sonic's past, but that's basically my point about Sega being kind of lazy with that, because yes, we all know Sonic Generations revisits previous levels like, you know, Green Hill, Sky Sanctuary, City Escape, all that. So instead of Sega actually digging deep to get other old levels that we haven't seen before, they're just going to rehash Generations levels and put them in Sonic Frontiers, and to me that's kind of lazy. Why can't we see another old level? Why can't we see Hydro City Zone instead of Green Hill? Why can't we see Metal Harbor instead of City Escape? You know, why can't we see Emerald Coast instead of Speed Highway? That's kind of weird. It's like, why must he remember those levels that were in Generations? I did hear that he also goes back to the picnic site where he had his birthday party in Generations, but whatever. It's just a story excuse as to why we're seeing rehash levels from Generations. But like what Prem said, I would have much rather see Green Hill, Chemical Plant, and all that in open world than to see them in cyberspace stages again, because that's the same format. Part of the appeal of Generations was that we were seeing a modern boost version of Green Hill. We've never seen that before. So I would like to see an open world version of Green Hill, you know, officially, not the same Generations level, but whatever. I heard there's also going to be fishing in Frontiers. You're actually going to go fishing. So that's crazy. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be in this game. I wonder if Big the Cat's going to be in this since there's fishing. Now, if there's one thing a lot of people have been demanding Sega is to delay Sonic Frontiers, because from what we've seen in the early gameplay, which was actually the early build, a lot of people were, you know, worried about this game and wanted Sega to delay it to polish it more. Even other non-Sonic tubers, just casuals like Optimus, Omni, all of them were saying, yeah, Sega, delay this Sonic game, you know? And we have an article here that says Sonic Frontiers won't be delayed as a result of fan feedback, insists Sonic Team's boss. Takashi Iizuka says the public don't understand the new format yet. And just like what that one person said, we've seen nothing yet. That really makes me believe that we truly have not seen anything yet, and what we've seen has just been an early build. There are no plans to delay Sonic Frontiers following its recent gameplay reveal, Sonic Team studio head Takashi Iizuka has told VGC. Delay Sonic Frontiers was briefly trending on Twitter earlier this month, I remember, after many Sonic fans took to the social media platform to vent their disappointment over the first video showing the game in action. As part of an upcoming VGC interview, Iizuka was asked what he thought of the mixed reaction to the gameplay footage. It's not really that surprising, Iizuka replied. We do realize everyone is just kind of reacting to the videos that they saw, and because they don't understand what this new gameplay is, they're kind of comparing it to other games that they already know. So we do see a lot of people saying, oh, it's kind of like this, it's kind of like that, or like Force's DNA. But it's not like this, it's not like that. And really, the team is going out and creating this new game format for Sonic, and we're calling it an open zone format. And this new game system itself is something that doesn't really exist in any other comparable titles. So we really hope that from here until launch, we can really explain what open zone gameplay is. Alright, Iizuka, I'll take your word for it. I mean, the recent gameplay I've seen have been very promising, so if you are insisting that this game shouldn't be delayed because you guys already delayed it since last year, then I'm gonna take your word for it. But to those of you guys who are saying that Sonic Team has been working on Frontiers for 5 years, stop that. Stop the cap. It says right here, and I talked about it in a previous video, I think it was last year or even 2 years ago, that Frontiers started production in March of 2019. Remember, right after Forces, Sonic Team was busy perfecting on the Hedgehog Engine 2 for Sakura Wars. So Sonic Team was busy making Sakura Wars or Sakura Wars in 2018. I know that's a non-Sonic game. Sonic Team makes non-Sonic games too. They were mostly just helping out since Sakura Wars ran on the Hedgehog Engine 2. Then after that, in the beginning of 2019, March 2019, is when they started production in Sonic Frontiers. Iizuka literally said that. And that's why in 2020, during the pandemic, they were having a lot of people play test the game, and the game was really rough. In 2020, they have only been working on Frontiers for a year, so that means it was a good thing that they delayed Sonic Frontiers to this year, because had it released last year in Sonic's 30th anniversary, Sonic Frontiers would have only been in production for 2 years, and this open world game is too big to only have a 2-year production, because even Unleashed and Generations was worked on for like 3 years. So Frontiers needs a lot more longer than that. When it comes out this year, that means it would have been worked on for 3 years, or a little over 3 years, like over 3.5 years. So just clearing that up. Now, he added, if people come to Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show, they can get that hands-on experience to play the game and understand what the game is. Because right now, we're just kind of watching videos of people reacting to what they believe the game to be. I'm sure they watch us Sonic Tubers. We asked Iizuka what he felt about the recent delay Sonic Frontiers hashtag on social media, and whether he was actually in a position to delay the game if he wasn't entirely happy with it. However, Iizuka claimed that this wasn't an issue because the development team are happy with the game as it stands. Frontiers is in development now, and actually we've been doing a lot of playtesting with our target audience, who would be in that demographic of someone who'd play us on a game and enjoy it, he replied. This is true. From our playtesting results, we have been iterating, we have been listening to the comments that come back, but we've also been getting a lot of great feedback from people who rate the game and are like, I had a lot of fun playing this game. I'd give it like an 80 or 90 point score out of 100. So we do feel that we're getting to the point where this game is done and people will like it, and we do want to get that game into our fans' hands as soon as possible. He added, we really feel confident in the playtest results that we're getting. A lot of people are saying they had a lot of fun, they really enjoyed the game. So we realize a lot of people are watching the videos online and making assumptions, but we do feel confident based on the playtest results from the target demographic that are coming in and playing the game start to finish. They really like the game, and we're confident that we're making a game that will be satisfying. So if our development team all gets COVID, or they're all hospitalized, or there's something that actually prohibits us from being able to deliver the game on time, we will need more time. But we're working right now with our team in Japan, who are working really hard to make sure this holiday people can buy the game, pick it up, take it home, and have a fun experience with it. So he does acknowledge that COVID, the pandemic, did cause some issues, but that's why they were playtesting it, or they were giving out playtests for people. Because, COVID affected a lot of the development. I mean, just look at Sonic Colors Ultimate, or as I like to call it, Sonic Seizures Ultimate. I'm not cutting Sega slack, but that did affect the development of that game, especially for Blind Squirrel. That's why the game came out in the state that it was. Terrible, glitchy, seizure-inducing mess. Alright, so that's straight out of the mouth of Iizuka himself. So he will not delay Frontiers, and he guarantees that we will enjoy ourselves. I mean, this goes hand in hand to what Sega was saying, that they're hoping for high scores. They're aiming for high scores with Frontiers. Now, one of the people who played Sonic Frontiers in the Summer Games Fest has a little brief review on it, so let's read it. This person says, Sonic Frontiers feels like a weird spin on Elden Ring. With its somewhat gloomy overworld, it's hard to play the Sonic Frontiers demo and not be reminded the sprawling RPG, but here, you're going 100 miles per hour. That's pretty interesting. It's like, yo, comparing Sonic Frontiers with Elden Ring? Does that mean it's difficult? If you're a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, by the time you read this, it's highly likely that you have already developed a possibly very strong opinion about Sonic Frontiers, the upcoming open world game starring everyone's favorite high-speed hedgehog and his pals. There's only so much we can say about the roughly 45 minutes we played at Summer Games Fest, but the bits we can talk about, and stay with me on this, sure feel like a Sonic spin on Elden Ring. Wow, let us continue. The demo opens with Sonic emerging from a portal of some kind onto a dreary, rain-swept system of cliffs and meadows, dotted with mysterious stone ruins. Sonic is instructed in accordance with tradition to seek out the Chaos Emerald, at which point he's free to roam, or at least free to experience a series of onboarding tutorials that teach the fundamentals of traversal and combat. And I heard that it's a British voice or British AI that helps Sonic. So is this that pink-haired woman? The Ranger, is she British? During my session, I selected the fast controls option, which Sonic Frontiers says is designed for players familiar with Sonic games. I played my fair share of Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, I reason, and so obviously that'll be the scheme for me. This was a bit foolhardy, it turns out. Playing at shows is never ideal. There's added stress to not look dumb while playing. The devs tend to be on hand and you want to be asking interesting questions, and you've probably just played 5 strange indie games that bend your brain in fascinating ways immediately before sitting down. I didn't get to check it against the slower option, but the fast controls in Sonic Frontiers get very fast. This meant I typically need a couple attempts to get through an area. A mistimed spin charge would send me careening off a boulder and into the sea, or I simply miss a jump to an airborne rail and plummet to my doom. Okay, so this is quite challenging. No matter though, Frontiers is pretty generous with checkpoints in its open world, so I never felt as though I'd lost much progress. The tutorials come at a rapid clip initially, which is a bit frustrating. Sonic can move tremendously fast, and it's clear Frontiers is made to let him do exactly that, but he's constantly interrupted by ponderous establishing shots that set up the next mechanic or input you're meant to learn. Still, criticism of Frontiers over appearing to be an empty world falls wide off the mark. The slice of overworld I tried at Summer Game Fest feels well calibrated to Sonic's movement. In fact, I found myself too frequently interested in some obstacle course or collectible I'd noticed off to the side to get much of a good sustained zip going for very long. The demo includes 2 minor boss fights, and it's here that I get a chance to click with Frontiers' combat system. It's pretty simple. Locking onto an enemy will change Sonic's focus so he moves relative to that enemy, just like in Souls games, so basically Dark Souls. Tapping X will have him execute a quick attack that snaps right to the enemy in focus, and the trick tends to be to time them so as not to get swatted when you go in for a strike. That attack also snaps Sonic toward nearby bumpers and lips, which will send him soaring across huge gaps or up sheer cliff faces, as the case may be. Sonic can also use the attack on various floating items in the world that allow him to leapfrog between distant platforms or complete puzzles. As Sonic explores and defeats enemies, he'll earn skill shards that eventually unlock new tools and abilities, such as leaving a glowing trail with his footsteps, sprint around a group of enemies, and once Sonic has completed the loop, he'll strike everything inside. That's how I'm able to beat the second boss, which works like a whirling Jenga tower made of saw blades. Wow. Lock on, run to avoid missiles, draw a loop, strike. What's it called? I think it was called the spin cycle or the Psy loop or something. The bottom section of the tower is bashed out, and after a few rounds of doing this, I've shortened a nasty bot enough to jump up and strike his head with a normal kick attack. This skill can also be used to unite elements of an environmental puzzle, often yielding skill shards, rings, or even opening up new areas, and that was just the first skill on the tree. So this game looks like it has quite the learning curve, kind of like Lost World but better. There's a complicated embargo to observe regarding the Sonic Frontiers demo, and I can't share everything I saw during the time I played. It's already a divisive game, and I'm sure it'll continue to be in the lead up to release. I'll say this though. Even playing under less than ideal conditions, such as having to use an alien PlayStation controller with Xbox on-screen button prompts, damn, and with a bit of jankiness, the small taste of Sonic Frontiers I played left me interested in seeing more, and the strange and gloomy overworld is just one reason for that. So this person definitely leaves a more grounded, less hyped review, but not negative review, but it sounds extremely promising. Also, the person who wrote this article says that the open world does not feel empty, and they were able to spin dash. He said, alright, seems I've confused spin dash for boost, apologies. I didn't get to rev up like in the classic 2D games, but I only saw one of quite a few unlockable skills. So I heard you can unlock the spin dash and replace the boost with the spin dash. Now that is awesome. I hope there's momentum though. There's gotta be some momentum with the spin dash. If it's like Lost World, where there's no momentum, you just spam the spin dash and it's OP, I don't think I'd like that. Or even like the spin dash with classic Sonic and Generations. That was fun for that level design, but that spin dash was pretty overpowered. And I like how Sonic's attacks in the game are very stretchy, like his arms and legs stretch. It reminds me a lot of the Werehog in Unleashed, but better. Like I said, the combat in this game has potential to be better than the Werehog, for the main reason being Sonic is faster with his combat, whereas the Werehog was slow. That's why I didn't like the Werehog combat brawl in Unleashed. It was way too slow paced and clunky for me. But if this is fast with timed moves, attacks, that's already a great combat system, because that's how Sonic fights. And that's what actually he needs to play like in the Smash games, because he definitely needs a more refined moveset instead of just spin dashing all over the place and homing attacking. And apparently the game has 2 gameplay styles: action styles, which give Sonic extra weight to his control, and high-speed styles. I think the high-speed styles is the cyberspace, and the action styles is the open world. So that's it that I have for now. I was going to read more, but we're already out of time here. So I guess I'm going to have to save that for another video because there's a lot to cover here. So what do you guys think about all this? Are you more reassured about Sonic Frontiers, or are you still pessimistic and skeptical about this? I'm still cautiously optimistic, but the more news we hear, the more confident and comfortable I am with this game. You know, because I do like open world platform games. And if Sonic Frontiers is good on that, then I don't mind the cyberspace stages being rehashed Generations levels. After all, I love Sonic Generations. I have been begging Sega to go back to that kind of level design for the Boost game. So if Sega does that, then who am I to complain? You know, I just wish they could choose different level themes, but whatever. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But that's all I have for now. Remember to hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Take care, and until next time, I'm out.